Okay, the Clarkson News Conference this afternoon. Head coach Matt Desrosiers, Elizabeth Giguere, and Shea Tiley. Once again, a reminder, the format will be similar to Friday, opening statement from the head coach, then we'll do questions for the student athletes, and then questions for head coach. We have 2 wireless microphones. Raise your hand and we'll get you a wireless mic. Head coach, you want to start with the opening statement?
Sure. I don't know, it's hard to explain how happy for these guys I am and how proud of them I am. You know, to win 3 games in overtime, to win it like they did, just shows the resiliency and the character that we have in that locker room. You know, to win it back to back, it's not an easy thing to do. We had a bullseye on our backs the entire year. Teams that have done it in the past, you really start to realize now how difficult it is to do that. But these guys have been fantastic all year. They've worked hard each and every day. They've gotten better every day. And now they're reaping the rewards for it.
Let's open up questions for the student athletes. Joe, first question.
Elizabeth, just how that play unfolded, and I mean, having done that against Mercyhurst too, just describe the feeling, but first describe the play if you could.
Well, I just saw like the defense cutting in the middle, and I was like, I need to put pressure as F1, of course, and I just won that battle. Then I was like along with the goalie, and I kind of black out really. Like I can't really remember what happened, but like it went in the net, and that's all that matters. And I'm just so proud of this team. Yeah.
I wish I could make plays like that when I black out.
Next question.
Shea, could you talk about the team's defensive effort, especially in the overtime they were held without a shot on net?
I think everyone throughout the entire game was just really solid defensively. We were doing everything we needed to do, getting pucks out when we needed to, blocking shots when we needed to. Lauren Leffler made a couple huge blocks in overtime right before we scored, so that's the kind of effort that we talked about needing, and then we really executed that, and I think that was a huge key to our win tonight.
Next question. Joe.
Shea, I mean, 3 overtime games in the tournament. After the third period, was there anybody who said anything like, this is just surreal almost? Or what did you guys say?
I think we just talked about keeping things simple, like Coach always talks about, knowing that we got our chances, we were going to continue to get more if we kept things simple and kept to our game plan. No one was really worried. We were all just really excited to get out there and win another overtime. So.
Next question.
Elizabeth, is your dad the goalie? I just want to make sure I had that right.
Oh, he's not. He's not. A lot of people asked me that before, but no, he's not. Sorry.
You might have.
Yeah, you know? No, he's not.
I'm glad I had a chance to ask. Just freshman year, and to have some of the honors that have come in. Just what does this mean to you to be able to do this your first year in college?
First, I couldn't have done it without my coach, my strength coach, and like what? No, my coaches, not just you, and all my teammates. They pushed me every day in practice, and I got better this year, and defensively, like most, I got really better, and I didn't expect anything at the beginning of the year. Just I wanted this team to be where we are right now, and we did it, and I'm really happy and proud. Yeah.
Other questions for student athletes? Third row here and then second row.
Shea, do you think your team has gotten enough credit for all it's accomplished in the last 5 years? 3 titles in 5 years, but it seems like people are always talking about somebody else. Oh, BC, you can't stop them, or Wisconsin. Do you think now this is what it'll take to get Clarkson over the top and people will start there and look elsewhere after?
Honestly, I don't really know. I would hope so. We just won back-to-back national championships, so I'd hope so. But I think that's a quality of ours that we have. We just, even though we don't get the recognition sometimes, we just go to work every day, and we kind of use that to fuel our fire. So I think that's how we look at it all the time.
Yeah, Shea, certainly going for a back-to-back national championship was certainly talked about, I would imagine, in your dressing room at the beginning of the season. How much of that conversation went on just in the last couple of weeks as you got closer to have the opportunity to do it?
I think it's something that we set our goals for. It was definitely a goal of ours at the beginning of the year, and then we kind of, I wouldn't say forgot about it, but kept it in the back of our minds and focused on the ECAC, winning our games that were in front of us. And then as we started getting closer to the NCAA tournament, then that's when we really started to set our sights again on the championship. And I think we did a really good job taking it one game at a time. And yeah.
Question here in the first row.
Shea, what does it mean to you to sort of have, you're leaving the program better than you found it, sort of, and as a senior, I think that's something you want to do, but I don't think we say the word dynasty lightly, and yet here you guys are sort of in this situation with the back-to-back and sort of really making a difference and putting Clarkson on the map.
I think the girls before us really laid the foundation. The 2014 team that won it, they kind of, even though we weren't a part of that team, we saw how they worked. A lot of us watched that game, and then the girls that returned really showed us how we needed to play. And I think that we've translated that over the 4 years. So hopefully we left our mark on the program, and the girls next year will come in and see how they need to work in order to win again.
Question, third row.
Elizabeth, what did you learn about yourself and your team by being able to win three overtime games in 3 games?
I learned that we don't get nervous when that happens. We know we can do it. When we play good defensively, we know we're gonna get the chances that we just we just got, and I don't even know. We just know we can do it, and I'm just proud of this team that we could have done. Like, we did it 3 times in a row, and yeah.
Any final questions for the student athletes? Thank you, congratulations. You can head back to the locker room. Questions for Coach Desrosiers?
Matt, what's Elizabeth's, just, watching the highlights of this goal today and the one against Mercy, her pretty special looking player. Just describe her, what brings the magic.
There's a lot of things. I think it starts with just the type of person that she is. You heard her speak here that she knew she had to get better, and she worked at it this year. She came in, she knew she had areas in her game that she needed to improve upon, and she worked hard every day to get better in those areas. Obviously, we knew she had, the skill and the talent coming in, and I think, her teammates really pushing her helped even make that skill level that much more. And obviously, you can see she can make plays that not a lot of players can make. I think that's one of her biggest assets, is just the vision that she has. If you watch the Mercyhurst goal, there's not a lot of players that can make that play and just see it develop the way that she did. So she's definitely a special player, but it's just the type of person she is too. She's pretty laid back. She's pretty honest with herself. She pushes herself, and she knows that she has to continue to get better.
Next question, second row.
Matt, a couple weeks ago, you played these guys in the ECAC championship. It was a much different game. You won 3-0. Do you feel like the Raiders made some adjustments that were able to keep this game so close?
I don't know. It's tough. I feel like they're the same type of team that we saw there. And I think we're still the same type of team that played a couple weeks ago. I thought we had a really good game in that ECAC championship game. We did a good job bottling things up, and I think we made it difficult on them. It may not have been their best game, that game. I know their coach said that, but we knew that we were going to get a lot more and a better Colgate today. When you're playing one game for a national championship, you know that you're going to get a team's best. And we've had some good games and good battles with them the entire season. So we knew that we were going to be in a tough game today.
Go ahead.
Matt, can you talk about this being the first all ECAC final and the first national championship game without a team from the WCHA and what it means for the growth of the Eastern programs?
Yeah, I think it says a lot about our league and just women's hockey in general. I feel like the game is just growing so much, and you're seeing it at the grassroots level, but you're also starting to see it at the college level. Each and every year there's legitimately a lot of different teams that could win a national championship. And it's nice to see that there's some Eastern teams that are emerging as those top teams. But it's great for us that we get to play against those top teams each and every night within our league. I think that really helps prepare us for these types of moments. So it's not surprising to me at all that we had two ECAC teams in the finals here.
Question, third row.
Do you think your team has been underappreciated? Follow on what I asked Shea, and if so, do you have any theories as to why that might be?
That's a tough one. I don't mind us just flying under the radar, to be honest with you. That's fine by me. We just go about our business. We don't need all the recognition and that to be successful. That's not what we're about. We just focus on ourselves. We focus on our process and getting better each and every day. And if teams or people want to overlook us, that's fine by us. Like I said, that doesn't define who we are. Getting press or anything like that. We're just more focused on ourselves and what we do, and obviously we're having some success with that.
Matt, in the first game you played against them early in the year, they scored 3 power play goals, and they used the power play a lot against Wisconsin, obviously. How were you able to contain them on their 2 power play opportunities? It didn't seem like they really got anything going on either one.
Yeah, we've the last few weeks our PKs has done a fantastic job. Earlier in the year, we just gave them too many opportunities. We didn't play our best game that game, I didn't think, but at the same time, we more so shot ourselves in the foot that game, I would say. So that was a good lesson for us and a good eye-opener for us early in the season, and something to kind of build off for the remainder of the season. But our PKers have done a fantastic job the entire year, especially at the end here when we needed them the most. I thought they did a good job tonight, just kind of keeping them to the outside, blocking shots when they needed to, and making sure pucks got all the way down the ice.
Any final question, third row?
What adjustments, if any, did your team make while this time around playing with the Bullseye, that you said?
For the season?
Just Frozen 4 here.
Frozen 4? Not much. I'll be honest with you. Again, we kind of focus on ourselves. There's little in-game adjustments, and there's some adjustments you need to make to take away other teams' strengths or expose some weaknesses in that. But for the most part, we just continue to play the same way that we have the entire season. Obviously, we've done a good job, and that's something that our team has done a good job throughout the entire season, is just getting better each and every week and focusing on that. There hasn't been a lot of steps backwards this year, and that's a credit to the players. Like they've remained focused the entire year on what they need to do to be successful, and that starts with our upperclassmen, our leadership. We just had everyone on board with what we were trying to accomplish and get done.
Any final question for Coach Desrosiers?